You played with Roy, obviously, at Forest a long time before that, and it was on television recently that the Forest-Liverpool game was the first game that was showed in Sky Sports that you scored in, and she's watching it, it was full-blooded. I know you often think of those games maybe more associated with the 70s, 80s. You could get away with a lot in terms of tackling forwards. You have to be able to look after yourselves. When you look at the Keane you first met at Forest to the Keane that you left at United, how different was he?
Oh, completely different player. I mean, I knew him. I'm not sure how old he was. Might have been 19 at Forest. I think it was his first. Might have been his second full season.
Yeah, second season.
Second season. His engine was ridiculous. I mean, the way I played, I came off a centre half, controlled balls. I needed midfield players that were going to run past me to give a question mark to the centre half. Are they going to pick me up, or are they going to pick the runner up? And Keane was fantastic like that. You know, he had such an engine that every time the ball came up to me, he'd be running past me, flick-ons, he'd be getting onto him every time. You know, as soon as he got back, he'd be tracking back and he'd be tackling. Then the ball would come up to me, he'd be running back past me again. He was unbelievable. He had a massive, massive engine that he just seemed to want to run all day, and people couldn't compete with him. And that's why Manchester United bought him for big money, because they knew he was going to be a top player. But by the time I got to United, he was a slightly different player. I don't know whether the manager had spoke to him or whether certain injuries had slowed him down a little bit, but he was more of a controlling the ball in centre midfield and picking his times to go beyond. He still had a very good engine, but not like it was in the Forest days. But he was a more rounded, more complete player by the time I'd gone to United.
And in that first season at Forest, was he a leader then? Was he the same personality around the dressing room that he was at United?
No. I wouldn't say he was a leader, not at all. He was a leader in his manner, and he's taking the game to the opposition, didn't care who he was playing against. But we had leaders in Stuart Pearce, Des Walker, Nigel Clough. They were more our leaders. These were players that had been in and around the Premier League, the First Division for a long time, and played for England. So they were our leaders, and Keane was just having fun. I think he was still a young man, still enjoying himself, playing football, going out, having a few drinks, and enjoying himself in that manner.